All right. This is the Matt and Shiggy show. I'm Matt. That's Shiggy.
Yeah.
So, this is our first podcast, so we're not any good at it. Don't have high expectations.
Slow down there, buddy.
Well, I mean, I just want to be honest. And yes, this is an explicit content podcast. So, don't be playing this in the car with your kids or whatever. All right, so first to start it off, we're going to talk about a little bit who we are, even though you probably won't give a shit, but, you got to know us a little bit. So again, I'm Matt. His name, I call him Shig. That's not his real name. It's a nickname, but I call him Shig. We met through a mutual friend, but we were freshmen, or I was a freshman. I don't know what you are, because you're a super senior now, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah. But anyways, so we met through a mutual friend. His name's Devin. Shout out. Dizmiz on Instagram, LA rapper. Check him out. But basically, you guys knew each other. You guys knew each other growing up, right? Like in high school?
Yeah, whatchamacallit, I think I met Dev probably either my junior or my sophomore year, because we was both on the basketball team, so that's how I knew him. And then I was just a year behind him, so when I graduated, he graduated a year ago. I mean, my bad, a year after. Mm-hmm. And then he just asked me what school should I go to? And I was like,
and you told him about this school that we're at right now?
Yeah, I did.
So you already knew that you were gonna come here, right?
Yeah, I knew he was gonna come here.
Yeah.
But I tried to tell him this ain't the place to be. It's not.
So why did you decide to come here?
Well, I mean, because I don't know, it was the most affordable thing for me to do. So I was just hey, I'm not trying to be thousands of dollars in debt.
Right.
Get out.
So we're going to school. I'm a senior, getting a degree in business management. Not that anybody cares. What's your degree again?
Pre-physical therapy.
Pre-physical therapy. Okay, that's cool. And so you're not a senior, right?
I'm in between junior and senior year. So next semester will be my last.
But how many years have you been coming here? Because you're ahead of me. I don't mean to gas you, but
This is my 5th year.
Okay, all right. And where do you work?
At
In-N-Out, and you like it, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a lot better than your last job, right? You don't have to name any names, but that's good. I don't got a job right now. I'm a bum right now.
Bitch.
But yeah, I am for real. No, I worked at a hotel over the summer, but that's back home. And so I'm from Seattle, Washington, and you're from
LA, baby.
LA. That's the place I want to be. I'll tell you what, and because I want to get in, the film industry, film production. Hopefully, one day be a director. That's the shit I'm into. That's my dream, if you want to call it that. And we'll see where that goes. That would be cool. So tell us about what you plan to do in the future. Do you plan on living here in Phoenix? Or
nah. So I'm trying to go back home just to save up some money for the first part, mm-hmm. And then
back home to LA, right?
Yeah, back home to LA. So when I graduate, obviously I'm gonna be out in Arizona for maybe another month or two or whatever, just because I'm out here.
After this April, right?
Yeah.
Or after you graduate?
Yeah, after I graduate.
Okay.
So in the winter of 2020. So after that, I'm just gonna I don't know, figure out what I want to do in the future. I also saving up some money, because I mean there is plans to be a physical therapist and be
right.
my own.
But you've told me about what your dream is and shit like that. So go into that a little bit, because I think that's really interesting.
All right. So what I wanted to ultimately do was just since I love basketball to a very passionate level, I just wanted to find something basketball related, while I could also be talking about life and just real world issues with people, and just spark a sense of urgency for people to wake up and do something about what our current like situation is, because the world's not perfect.
Right. And you talked about starting some type of league, right? Like kind of like the Drew
Yeah,
League.
yeah. So
except
I mean,
for more like
So basically, I just wanted to like find a source for younger the younger generation to like give them more exposure to like be in a position to shine and do good, and when just for something that I like wasn't able to do, because like you got coaches telling you like, oh, you're not shit, like you can't do this, you can't do that, but like when you have such young people, like you need to just like inspire them and like tell them like that they can do it. You don't want to just tear them down. Like I mean, you want to be realistic.
Yeah.
But like you got to give them like some like some hope for the future, so it gives them a drive and a passion to keep going.
And that's kind of, I want to kind of get into why we're doing this podcast, because this is kind of what you want to do, talk to people and interviews and that type of shit, right?
Yeah, because I mean, like, like I said, like the world's not perfect, and like even though I got a small voice right now, like I still want to be able to like carry it as like loud as I can to like whoever wants to hear it. And it's just that, like, well, with all the, like, things that's happening in society nowadays, all this stuff, like, I'm just thinking, like...
You just want to, you want to be able to talk to people and give the small people, quote-unquote, a voice, And, and I kind of want to do this because, well, for one, I think it would be fun. We think it would be fun, so that's why we're doing it, first and foremost. Second of all, hopefully maybe we can make a couple of dollars off of this. Who knows?
Yeah,
we'll see where it goes. Anchor, that's what the app we're using. So I don't know. We just started using it,
hopefully.
But it's pretty cool so far. I like this app, Anchor. Go download. I already made a, promo for that. And I just want to get comfortable behind the scenes, directing that type of shit. But I just want to get comfortable with the whole like talking to people and just talking to a camera and shit. And speaking of basketball. We got to talk about the inevitable. Right now, Shig is wearing a Kobe Bryant jersey. That was some of the saddest shit that I've experienced. I remember. We could talk about where we were when we heard. So this was that last Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. The Pro Bowl was on. Or it was about to start, and I went over to my friend's room and we went to watch it. And I opened the door. I'm like, "What's up, motherfuckers?" And his roommate's looking at me like, "What's your problem?" And I was like, "Why is he looking at me like that?" And he just points to the TV, and I read it. And, Kobe Bryant killed in a helicopter crash. And I kept reading it over and over and over because I was like, "Am I reading this shit wrong? There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way." And after I realized, oh my God, I'm reading this right. I just sat down, dropped my water bottle, and I was just staring at the news channel, the TV channel, and man, it just got worse, once the news, that obviously the worst part of it is that his daughter was there, and, that was tough, man. We watched like the first half of the Pro Bowl, but they were just talking about him the whole time. They're just talking about Kobe and stuff, and I didn't believe it at first, but then Adam Silver, commissioner for the NBA, he released a statement talking about it, so I was like, wow, this is real, man. And I just went to my room at halftime because I didn't even want to watch football anymore, and I just cried, man. I mean, I wasn't bawling, I wasn't out loud crying, but my eyes were rolling with tears all day, all night, for the whole day, and just scrolling through social media. I'm sure you've seen it. It's still everywhere on social media, and it's really sad, man. It just keeps getting worse. I've gotten to a point now where I can't even read anything anymore. I can't, I posted on my Instagram reposted this video of him talking, and it was just, man, it made me cry, so I had to post it. But now, I can't do it anymore. It just makes me so upset. It's not fair, So I kind of went on for a long time there, but where were you when you first heard what happened?
Man, I was just waking up, and I just went to the bathroom, and I got a Snapchat notification, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then right after that, I got an ESPN notification, and I was like, okay, I'll look at that later. And then I come out the bathroom, my roommate, he's like, oh, did you hear about the news? And I was like, wait, what you talking about? And then, like, I looked at my phone, I was like, no, bro, like, not my nigga Kobe, bro. Like, this has got to be fake.
Right off
like,
the ESPN?
Right, yeah, right off. Because, like,
Yeah.
the ESPN notification was like, oh, like, sources according, like, TMZ. And I was like, TMZ, man.
Yeah,
this
you
gotta
don't,
be,
you know,
this
yeah.
be fake.
You don't rely on TMZ for,
Yeah.
like, news like that. You know,
Yeah.
they're more like celebrity drama and shit. So, yeah, I know what you mean. They were the
Yeah.
first to report on it, I believe.
Yeah,
TMZ.
but then I looked into it deeper, and then Woj, you know, I don't know if y'all know about him, but he's like an NBA insider who just reports
Adrian
on.
Wojnarowski, yeah.
He reports on a whole lot of shit that happens in the NBA, and he's never wrong about it. So I was like, wow,
Right.
like this is real. And then I was like, nah, I'm in denial. Like, you know, until I see a body or see a funeral, like I can't accept the fact that he's dead.
I know.
And then I kept, like, the next hour I'm looking at my phone. I've never stared at my phone so hard. And, like, I'm literally looking. I'm just like, it gets on the news and everything. And I'm just like, okay, please don't tell me the family's there. And then they say it's 5. And I'm just like, and I see a source like, oh, his wife wasn't there. And it's like, all right, please tell me it's not the daughters. And then I see the thing by Gigi. And I'm like,
yeah.
I just lost it, man. Like, I didn't cry, but, like, I was dying on the inside, bro. Like, I'm just like, wow, like, that was his little me. Like,
right. Oh,
that,
yeah.
I don't know how you could, like.
She was the one that was, like, following in his path.
Yeah.
You know, being a basketball player, and she was
like,
she good, too, man. I remember seeing
She
highlights.
was going to go to UConn,
yeah.
go to WNBA, and after that, and I'm just like.
Guarantee it, yeah.
We're not even going to see that anymore now. So I'm just like, you know, like.
I know.
I'm just like.
It's not fair, man, and it's just like. It's just weird because as long as we've been alive, Kobe's been in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is with me, I was never a huge Kobe fan. You know, I know we talked about this earlier, but I was never a huge Kobe fan. You know, but I've known him for as long as I've known fucking basketball, you know? So if you're a fan of the NBA and you're a fan of basketball, deep down you're a fan of Kobe Bryant, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So just because of how well I've known him, and honestly, he's a good guy, man. I don't care what anybody says, whatever. He has a history and all that. He's a good guy. If you look at how he is right now, he was a good dad. He was a good husband, and obviously he was a great basketball player. And so now we wanted to look at his wife, Vanessa, actually just posted a statement, and I haven't read it yet. Have you, Shig?
Mm-mm.
So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. It's on Instagram. You know, how many days has it been now? What is it today, Wednesday?
Yeah, it's been probably 3 days.
Yeah, so she just posted on Instagram, and she says, "Wow, it's long, but it's sad. It's really long, but I wanted to read the whole thing, but I just don't think I can right now. So, but if you wanna check it out, it's Vanessa Bryant on Instagram. She just made a post today. So to get in a little bit more lighthearted, we'll talk about the NBA, which obviously Kobe was a huge part of. Are you keeping up with this season?
Yeah, I've been watching a game or two from time to time. I mean, obviously, I'm a big Lakers supporter, so
Yeah.
I gotta keep an eye on my Lakers, man.
Yeah,
like,
well,
first in the West.
Shit, yeah, they're kicking ass, man. We got the standings up right here. So, where's the West? Right here. Yeah, they're number 1. They're up by 3 games on the for first place, and the Clippers are number 2. I gotta be honest with you, man. Well, first of all, I'm surprised how well the Lakers are doing.
Wow. Bro, we have LeBron and AD.
Yeah,
now.
but everybody was talking about last year, like, oh my God, they got LeBron. They're gonna be Stephen A. and all them were saying Lakers are gonna be first place. They're gonna be first place, and they didn't even make the goddamn playoffs.
Well, you gotta slow down a bit there and know that LeBron missed about a good 10 to 20 games because of that groin injury.
When?
Before,
At the end of the
it was
season,
in the middle
baby.
of the season. They literally was in playoff position. And then as soon as he left and got injured, they slid down the ranks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what I think it is? I think Lonzo and Brandon Ingram just kind of aren't that great.
Whoa,
They're just not that great.
I
What?
think
Look at the
if
Pelicans
you-
right
if
now.
you-
They're in 12th place, out of the playoffs, obviously. The
Yeah,
record's
but-
19-29, and everybody's talking about, oh, the Pelicans are going to be filthy now. Why would you think the Pelicans are going to be filthy because they got Brandon Ingram and Lonzo when they sucked last year when they were on the Lakers?
I didn't say that the Pelicans. Don't put me in with these other people. I never said the Pelicans was going to be anything good. I said ninth, maybe eighth seed at best. But I mean,
Nah.
they're a young core. Like, you know, in like 4 or 5 years, if they develop right and they stay healthy, they could actually do something. I mean, because
Maybe. I don't know. I think
they just need a leader. Because look at the Mavs
Yeah.
right now. You got Luka the Don Doncic leading the Mavericks to not the best, like you know.
Yeah.
Because they're only 6 right now. As I'm looking at
They're
it.
in the playoffs, though.
But you know he's leading them to somewhere
But
like, you know.
you say leader, but I don't know. I think LeBron is probably the best of a leader you're going to get.
But you can only do so much as one
True.
single player.
True. You know what the key piece is?
Because even Kobe couldn't win it by himself. He needed
Oh, of
Shaq,
course,
and then
of
he
course.
needed Pau.
Nobody,
So you know.
Yeah, nobody could win it by themselves, especially in today's NBA. But we both know what the key ingredient is from this year to last year. It's Anthony Davis. You know, that's
But it's
why.
not just Anthony Davis. Like, they have a lot of bigs too now
They
that
do,
solidified their defense, and they put in Avery Bradley along with that.
Right.
So like not
Dwight
only
Howard
and Dwight Howard. So
McGee.
like they're not only just like an offensive power threat with AD and LeBron now. They have the defense to back it up too.
Yeah, and they got a solid bench, and really smart that they re-signed Rondo, because he's one of the most underrated players in the league, in my opinion. I love Rondo. I've always loved him.
Wow, the Grizzlies are 8th right now. That's crazy.
Yeah, Grizzlies. Did you see that fight?
Yeah.
You saw that fight?
Yeah.
Of course you saw that fight. I showed you that fight.
That's crazy, man.
So what happened? That just happened tonight. I mean, it wasn't that crazy. Nobody was throwing punches and shit, were they?
I mean, if Brandon Clark didn't step in and break up the two along with the refs, like, it could have been worse.
Who was it again? It was
Alfred
Payton
on
and
the
on the Knicks.
Jay Crowder. Why I say Ja?
Well, Ja got in there. I saw a little bit of it, but I just kind of briefly. But Ja got in there, yeah, and then fucking Marcus, or is it Markieff or Marcus on the Knicks?
Marcus.
Yeah, he shoved Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It was nothing special, I guess.
It was one of those.
I still love it though. I love scuffles, man.
It was one of those unspoken rules, man. Like in basketball, because like
tell them what happened.
Them niggas was up by like 20 points. And like, I mean, yeah,
Who's that?
the Grizzlies were up by 20, and it was like 50 seconds left on the clock, and like Jay Crowder, like, yeah, you could still like play defense and get a steal, but this man had the audacity to take a 3 right after he gets a steal. Like, you know, you can at least like throw the ball around and kind of waste the clock because the game is over, you know. But then, you know, I could see it from Alfred Payton's perspective, because, you know, I would be thinking like that too. Like, hey,
Jay Crowder took the shot.
Yeah, he took the shot.
You know, a few they're already gonna guarantee win the game. You
Right.
know, throws up a shot, and Alfred throws him on the ground. I like that, man. I love that shit because it's tough. It's, you know, I know they're the Knicks and they suck, but you know, it's a respect thing. You you said, it's an unspoken rule.
It's funny too because the Knicks crowd was chanted "sell the team" after the like. Whole
Are you
scuffle.
serious?
I'm dead ass.
Man, I don't know who's the owner.
I don't even know.
I don't know. But
hey, ask my boy Ant. That man is the biggest Knicks fan.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Really?
Yes.
Man, I'll never get him. Who do you think's gonna do it this year? I know you're talking about the Lakers and that's your squad, but honestly though, if you were not a fan,
All right.
who would you think?
All biases aside,
We got the standings up right here. It's got to be someone from the West, right?
all right. So if we're looking at the playoff picture right now, all right, go back to the West.
Okay, well, first let's start with the shitty East. So the shitty East, everybody knows the Raptors won last year, but Kawhi left. They're still good. They're still in second place, you know.
Yeah, not bad.
But the Bucks, they're number one, and they're winning by fucking, what is that, 7 games? They're up by like 7 games. So they're going. They're taking it, I think, you know. And who I'm kind of disappointed in actually is the Celtics.
Why?
The Celtics. Because, man, they should have kicked ass. Kyrie Irving's my favorite player. They could have been top dogs in the East if Kyrie stayed. And if Kyrie didn't think he was Jesus Christ.
Wait, so you telling me that KD should have came to the Celtics along with Kyrie?
No, fuck KD. They don't need KD. The squad they have now with Kyrie, if he would have stayed on the Celtics, they could win the East. They could have won the playoffs, man. In my opinion.
I mean, they could have won the East, but let's be real, they're not going to win a championship with that team.
I mean, I guess
because they struggled against the Bucks. They lost to the Bucks in 5.
Right. Well, the Bucks, they're good. They're good, man. Giannis and all them, they're good. Talking about they're only one player. Well, I don't know. Who do they have? Because they lost Brogdon.
Oh, they got
Giannis.
They got Wesley Matthews, Eric Bledsoe.
That's right, Bledsoe.
The Lopez brothers. They're always going to play together because of brotherly
Lopez
love.
Is actually he's nice. Yeah, he's still got some left in the tank.
And then I think who else do they got? Oh, they still got Chris Middleton.
Shit!
First time All-Star last year. Like, come on now.
He's a low key star.
Actually, he just put up a career high of 51 points the other night.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm dead ass.
I should know
without Giannis. By them. May I add?
Wow, I should know that. I have Chris Middleton on my fantasy team, but I don't know, man. I don't really keep up with NBA that much. Mm-hmm. Not like I used to. NBA used to be my fucking favorite, but now it's I don't know. For me, I don't know. Ever since the Cavs dynasty broke up, because that was my squad. Because like I said, I love Kyrie. I love Kyrie when he was drafted to the Cavaliers because I just thought he was fucking filthy. Mm-hmm. Never liked the Cavs before that. Love Kyrie, and I told everybody, man. I told fucking everybody. I was like, LeBron's coming home. He's gonna come home, man. With that last year when he was with Miami, and soon enough, I woke up. I saw it. I was fucking screaming, crying, man. I was calling people, singing, "I'm coming home. I'm coming home." Because I told everybody, and everybody was like, "No, why would he do that?"
Nigga, shut the fuck up.
I swear to God, that's true. You could ask my friends, but
oh my God.
Ever since the whole Cavs dynasty broke up, now I'm kind of like, I don't know. I just stick with NFL more so. But we're gonna talk about the NFL. But before we move on, I just want to say Knicks owner is James Dolan. I should have known that because fucking Stephen A. and Max Kellerman talk about him all the time. James Dolan, how shitty of an owner he is. So yeah, just to quickly wrap it up here on the NBA part of it, who do you got for East and who do you got for West, and then who do you think is going to ultimately win?
I mean, honestly, the Bucks and the Nets, that could be a real interesting first round because if Kyrie can be healthy at that point, and if KD's bitch ass can decide to come back, I think that it could be a Game 7 right there. But if the Bucks can end up beating them, then I think...
Man. Who you got? East, West, who's going to win? Give it to me right now.
Honestly,
if you were to guess right now. It could change later, but who do you got right now?
Honestly, I'm thinking Bucks and the Lakers.
Bucks, Lakers. All right, so you got the 2 number 1 seeds right now. All right, for me, and who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to win? Lakers, right?
I don't know.
You got the Lakers. We both know. You're wearing a fucking Lakers jersey right now.
I mean, I don't want to be biased though because they lost to the Lakers. I mean, they lost to the Bucks. They lost to the Bucks.
Yeah.
The first game they played them this season.
Here's what I think. I think the Bucks are going to go in the East. I think that's kind of inevitable at this point. In the West, I'm telling you, dog, Clippers.
Kawhi Leonard's not even gonna play the whole 7 games.
Oh, he will. That's why he's doing load management. Everybody's getting pissed off of load management. Man, they got 80 fucking games in how many months, bro? It's ridiculous. Of course they need load management. It's smart. They're prolonging their career. They're prolonging their profits.
What are you saying to the NBA young fan that literally traveled thousands of miles just to see Kawhi Leonard?
Well, that's why you gotta
play?
fucking look at the injury report before you buy the goddamn ticket.
Wow, we're going that way. Wow,
that's what I think.
A little kid, you expect a little kid to do that?
You can't. I get it. It's like it's the NBA's for the fans. It's about the money. It's about the profit, and the fans give them the money and the profit. But at the end of the day, man, these guys want to take care of their bodies. How can you blame a guy for wanting to take care of his body and take care of his money?
But that's not on.
Look at Vince Carter.
That's not on Kawhi. Like even you have some NBA greats over here telling you like, hell no, I wouldn't take load management. Like if it was up to the NBA players, they would play 24/7. James Harden is famous for saying he just wants to hoop. So honestly, you can't tell an NBA star, especially if they're playing a big key matchup. Like these guys played the Bucks one time this season, and Kawhi was out. Everybody wants to go pay to see Kawhi Leonard take on Giannis. So why would you like in any significant game take him out?
I don't know, man. I mean, once the playoffs happen, I feel like they don't do that no more. They don't do their load management anymore. I'll tell you what, man. I chugged a couple beers before we started this podcast, and I know I've already pissed a couple times, but again, right now I gotta piss like a racehorse.
Again?
Yes, again. But it's all right. We're gonna take a short break. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. I freed my bladder, and you might be asking, why do you have to piss so much, right, in a short amount of time? Well,
nigga, nobody's asking all that.
Well, I thought you were curious. You were talking about it earlier, but
Who
let me
was
just say,
talking about it earlier?
I was nervous. I was nervous for this podcast, and sometimes just cracking a couple brewskis, it does it for me. It makes me settle down, calms me down. So that's what I did before this podcast. But we're gonna segue into. We talked about the NBA, but I feel like what's more relevant. Did you fart?
No.
Did you fart?
I for sure did it. What are you talking about?
Stank in here. Anyways.
It might be your stank ass breath, nigga.
Man, I chewed 3 pieces of gum. I brushed my teeth. All right. Anyway, so we're going to talk about what's probably more relevant right now. The NFL, the Super Bowl is this Sunday. Where are you going to be watching that?
At my job.
Yeah, you got to work, huh?
Yeah.
They don't got any TVs in and out, do they?
No, they do not.
Oh, shit. That sucks. Me? I don't know. Maybe go out with some friends or a friend or two somewhere that has alcohol, Of course. Why not? But no, well, who do you got? Who do you got winning it? Who do you got?
Chiefs. Hands down.
down.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I wanna believe in like Richard Sherman's ability to lock down anybody, but I mean, like, Pat Mahomes is just too special, man. I mean, he's got it going on. I mean, the only thing that worries me about the Super Bowl for the Chiefs is their defense and how well they're gonna stop Jimmy G and what's that name? Mostert?
Yeah, Raheem Mostert, their running back. I don't know.
And Kittle.
I don't know anybody who's afraid of Jimmy G, frankly. Like, I don't know. I like I said earlier, I'm from Seattle. I'm a diehard Seahawks fan. The 49ers are in our division, so we play them twice a year. We beat them once. We lost to them the second time, and obviously they were a game ahead of us, so Seahawks were a wild card, and we won our first game, and then the second game we lost against the Packers. I don't want to talk about it. But I tell you what, the Packers went on to go play the 49ers, which I believe the Seahawks would have won that game if it was us instead of the Packers. But for that game, I was rooting for the Niners because the Packers beat the Seahawks, so I said, fuck them, I want the Niners to win. That being said, now that they're going against the Chiefs, who I have nothing against, I actually kind of like them. I don't love them. The only team I love is the Seahawks, but I do like the Chiefs, and I do think they're going to win the Super Bowl. Not only do I hope they win, because I am being biased. I do hope the Chiefs win, but I actually do think you made good points. I think they're going to win. They got a dynamic offense. Obviously, everybody knows Patrick Mahomes. Everybody knows Travis Kelce, but the Niners have a crazy run game with Mostert, Coleman. So, I don't know, man. They got the run game. They do got an offense, but Jimmy G doesn't do shit. He does little swing passes. All they do is little swing passes. He never throws down the field more than 15 yards. But their run game is what the Chiefs need to stop.
But I mean, you don't fix what ain't broken.
You don't shit what you don't eat.
No, don't fix what
Yeah,
ain't
don't
broken.
fix what's not broken,
Like if the
yeah.
run game is what's getting them down packed, then let it ride.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be like the Titans, and Derrick Henry, and then it just you stop Derrick Henry, you can't do anything else. But I'm just saying, like if it's working, let it ride.
Yeah, but they got a 3-head monster. Their third running back is Matt Breida as well. That's what they need to stop, man. But the thing is with the Chiefs, their defense, it's all right, but it's not the best. I don't know why it's not the best, because they got some big names on there. They got Frank Clark, who's from Seattle. They got Chris Jones is his name. And then, of course, they got Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. If there's any way that the Niners are going to win, it's gonna be with that run game, which is how they've won all year. So,
to be honest, I think it's just going to come down to whoever defense can stop the offense, because they both have talented offenses, but it's going to all come down to defense. Defense wins championships.
well, if you think it comes down to better defense, I got to say I think the Niners actually have the better defense. So, does that change your mind?
No, not at all. I mean, Richard Sherman is the only person on that Niners defense that's is able to be on this type of stage. So just because none of them have the experience of that, I feel that they're not ready.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got a couple other vets in there, but I think that I now that I'm talking about it, I feel like I'm kind of starting to make a case for the Niners, but I think I still have the Chiefs because how they win is they outscore everybody. Every time they play somebody, their goal is to outscore them. They play their defense. It's middle of the road. It's not shit. It's not great. It's middle of the road. But they fucking have. I think they do have a better overall offense than the Niners, because the Niners, they have their run game, and then Jimmy G does his little screens and swing passes and what's it called, jet sweeps. He doesn't throw more than 15 yards down the field. But the Chiefs, obviously, they have Patrick Mahomes, so they have a pass game. They got Kelsey, they got Tyreek Hill, but their run game is not bad either, because they got they got the Williams, not brothers, but people call them the
Slim
Williams.
Shady,
and they got Slim Shady McCoy, who still got some left in his tank, and I love Shady. When he was on that Eagles team with Mike Vick and Deshaun Jackson, that was like my favorite team. That was at that point, I was like, damn. The Seahawks will always be my favorite team no matter what. But at this time, they were shit. This was before the Russell Wilson era. The Eagles were like my favorite team, man, because I loved everybody on that fucking team. Mike Vick and all them. Deshaun Jackson, my favorite player. And their defense was filthy as well. Also, Shady McCoy, which is why I brought that up. So we both got Chiefs. I was going to say, I wanted to make a bet on it. I was hoping you were going to pick the Niners. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to bet because I'm a betting man. I like money. So I'm going to find somebody who's dumb enough to bet for the night. Yeah, that's true. All right. Your favorite team. What's your favorite team?
This is before LA had a team, so it was...
Well, in our lifetime.
Yeah, in our lifetime.
By the way, we never said how old we are. I'm 22. How old are you?
I'm same age, 22.
Right. Sorry, continue with the Steelers. Oh, did I just give it away? That's right, everybody. Shig's favorite team is the Pittsburgh Shitters.
Yeah. Whoa! Let's not do that.
No,
like Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg, black and yellow.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing better.
Hey,
seven Super Bowl wins. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, no, they're great. They're a great team, but let's be real. They're kind of they're gonna go. Every team in sports. Well, I don't know about baseball because who the fuck watches baseball? In the NBA, in the NFL, do you?
Yeah, every now and then.
Yeah, I'll go to Mariners games, but they're fucking disappointing. So, anyways, NBA and NFL, I feel like teams they have peaks and valleys basically. A team is gonna be fucking top dog for whatever a certain number of years, and then eventually the valley's gonna come and they're gonna be shit, and then they get the best draft picks, and then all of a sudden they're back on top. So it's just a constant, endless cycle. But there are teams that seem to kind of avoid that, and I guess you could say the Steelers were one of those teams up before recently.
Yeah.
Now that Big Ben's kind of, he's dragging his nutsack all over the field. it's time for him to hang it up. And obviously Le'Veon Bell moved on, and then obviously Antonio Brown's gone nuts. Yeah, it's tough to see AB because he was actually, besides Deshaun Jackson, Antonio Brown was my favorite player, man. I still love him. I hope everything's good, but you know what I think it is, honest to God? And I really do feel bad for him because I do think there's something wrong with his head. I don't know if it's CTE or something else, but I think that hit from Vontaze Burfict, you remember a few years back when he got just absolutely fucking laid out, cheap, dirty shot by Vontaze Burfict, who I'm so glad. I hope he never plays another game of football again. He's a piece of shit.
Agreed.
When he laid out, I don't know if anybody remembers this. This was a few years ago. But he laid Antonio Brown out, and people are saying that's when everything went downhill. I think that might be part of it, but, you know, everybody knows about CTE and all that shit going on now. You know, with the movie Concussion coming out a few years back, and then now this Aaron Hernandez thing coming out.
Aaron Hernandez. I was just about to pull that up.
Have you watched any of that?
I watched a little bit of it, and it's just it's crazy.
It's really dark, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it all the way through, but when our friend Devin was here a few weeks ago, when he was here, we were watching it together, and man, it's sad and it's dark. And I feel really bad for that guy because I didn't know he was molested as a kid. And then, you know, he grew up and he was kind of like closet gay. Yeah, so, you know, I don't know. I guess he had a wife and a kid, and obviously, but I think that's what the whole reason why he killed somebody is because they were gonna leak that he was. I don't know. I guess I should probably watch the whole documentary before I start talking. But that's my understanding of it. Super sad story. I feel bad for him. It's really good though. The documentary, it's really good, but it is dark. It can be, it's not for the faint of heart. And all that, but I think that's kind of similar to what's going on with Antonio Brown, and I just hope, I want to say I hope he plays in the NFL again, but I just don't see that happening. I don't know. What about you?
I mean, just being a Steelers fan, like it really like pains me to see where he ended up in because he was arguably one of the top three receivers in his era.
Yeah,
and
it's just real quick. Me and my friend Axel, I'm gonna bring him up a lot. He's one of my best friends back home. But he's always saying, "Oh, Julio Jones is the best," and I would always be like, "No, Antonio Brown." So I thought Antonio Brown was the best wide receiver in the league.
That's where I differ with you.
Really? Well, first finish your thought. Finish your thought that you were saying before.
It's just. I was just gonna say it's sad to see how he was one of the top receivers in the NFL, especially for my team. So, just to see how he just fell off the wagon like that, it's just sad to see. Not only for a player that you admire from your team, but also someone just as a human being in general.
Yeah, that's the main thing, man. These guys are. It's cliche to say, but these guys are real people, they're real humans. Yeah, they're millionaires. Yeah, they play a game for a living to make millions, but they're real people too, man. They got problems, and they're under a fucking microscope. Everything they do is criticized and
amplified to 1,000 times higher than any other normal human being.
Yeah, so that's something you and me have no idea what it's like. So, you got to cut these guys some slack. Yeah, they got millions of dollars to get them through, but...
money can't buy you happiness.
That's right. Yeah, it can buy you a lot of things, though, to be happy. Shit, I tell you what, man. Fucking DJ Khaled, man, living in Miami, just riding jet skis all around. That's a pretty happy life, if you ask me. But that's a lot less strenuous than getting cracked in the head and getting concussions all, every year. So who do you think... You said you had to differ with me when I said Antonio Brown was the best.
All biases aside, Julio Jones is arguably the best wide receiver I've ever seen.
Yeah,
after T.O. and Jerry Rice, all of them, and Randy Moss when they all left the league.
I don't know. Do you know how many touchdowns he got this year?
I mean,
it wasn't very much.
It's not.
I had him on my team. Man.
It's not on him to get touchdowns, though.
6 touchdowns.
You could say the same case for OBJ. Are you gonna discredit him for not getting touchdowns?
Yeah, I am. Odell Beckham Jr. Is overrated as fuck. He's a great talent. He's flashy. It's so fun to watch him play. But let's be real. If he never got that great catch, which was great, man. I was going ape shit too. I'm not hating on the guy. He's a great player, but he's not a GOAT. He's not a top dog. Let's be real. Let's be real. If that catch didn't happen, who would he be? He'd still be a good receiver.
I still think he would still be a top option.
Top 5?
No, he'd be a top option on any team that he's
on.
Of
course. But do you think he's a top 5 wide receiver? If that never happened?
I mean, are we making the case that he's a top 5 receiver right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we had Julio Jones and Antonio Brown just running amok, who's the other 3 that you're putting in that top 5?
Well, I gotta go with DeAndre Hopkins. I think he's right now. I think he's the best wide receiver in the game. Him, Julio. I guess you can't say Antonio Brown no more. You know what? Mike Evans. I think he really is. He's the type of guy that I think if he had a better quarterback, he'd be a fucking animal.
So that just poses the question as to
who else.
Are you crediting these guys for being good wide receivers because they have a decent quarterback throwing it to them?
I mean, of course that's part of it. That's not every. I mean, OBJ was putting up numbers with Eli Manning as his quarterback, and Eli, he's a Hall of Famer, but let's be real, he's been shit the past 5-6 years. He probably should have retired. But I don't know, man. You could have said back then. You could have said Jordy Nelson, and I don't know. Are we talking back then, or are we talking right now top 5? Let's talk top 5 right now. Top 5 wide receivers right now. Can you think of them?
Well, obviously Michael Thomas has to be in the discussion.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I want to say DeAndre Hopkins is number 1 because he's my favorite, but man, Michael Thomas, man.
His Twitter is
Can't guard Mike. That's a true statement. That's what that is. Yeah, he especially this year though. I don't know. I kind of thought I was like, I'm not buying it quite yet on him, but he's a GOAT, man. He might be. I mean, I think he only had 2 or 3 drops this year. 2 or 3 drops. And he had
140 something catches.
Oh man, it was nuts. So he's definitely in there. Man, I'm kind of starting to transition out of the NFL mode into the NBA mode now that my Seahawks are done. So I'm trying to remember this year and who else kicked ass at wide receiver. I don't know. I guess I guess for a top 5, I guess Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin, you know who that is?
To do on the Bucks.
Yeah, playing alongside fucking
Mike Evans.
Yeah, I mean he played a lot better than Mike Evans this year, and you could say Adam Thielen. I don't know. I thought Thielen was kind of a one-hit wonder. It seemed like last year. I don't know. Let's move on to. Well, before we talk about next season, let's talk about Tom Brady. What do you think is going to happen with him?
Honestly, I could give 2 fucks about what Tom Brady's going through next season.
I don't fucking like Tom Brady either. You know what he did. You know what he did to me. He actually didn't do nothing to me. It's Seahawks coaching staff did something to me in that Super Bowl against the Patriots, which I don't like to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it for reference in this case. But, yeah, that shit hurt. Anyways, I could care less either, but what do you think is going to happen? I think he's going to... I don't know. Why would he leave the team? He's got it all lined up for him. I get it. They didn't do that great this year, but he's an old man now. He's an old fuck. Does he think going to a different team he's going to be better? I don't think so. I think he's going to retire because he moved out of his house and shit, and he moved his agent out of the house, out of New England. People could say, oh, maybe they're just getting a new house. Oh, that doesn't mean anything. I think that means something, personally. So I think he's going to hang it up because, I don't know. What do you think?
I think he should hang it up because
me too. I agree.
If you already got 6 Super Bowl rings and then you just... Did they even make the playoffs this year?
Yeah, they made the playoffs. They lost to the Titans, though.
Yeah, but if you lose to a team like the Titans, man,
they impressed, though. They beat the Ravens.
No discredit to the Titans, but I mean, who's really on the Titans defense like that? I mean, you got Kevin Byard, who's nice, but besides him, who else?
Man, they got that Casey.
Jarrell Casey?
Jarrell Casey. They got fucking... Adoree Jackson at cornerback. Who else they got? I know they got some linebackers too. I'm really transitioning out of the NFL right now. Because, dude, when it's in the middle of the season, you know, and fantasy's going on, man, I know fucking every player. I know every touchdown I know how many yards they have. I know all that shit. Know every player on defense. I'm starting to fall out of that. But they had a good defense, though. I mean, I guess it wasn't. I don't know. They had a good defense.
Yeah, but for a guy like Tom Brady, who's supposed to be the GOAT, I feel like any defense that's not even. Were they a top 10, top 5?
Their defense?
Yeah.
Titans or Patriots?
Titans. What rank were they?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up.
But I'm just saying, if they're not bragged about as the top 5 defense, a guy like Tom Brady should eat them for breakfast. So I'm just saying,
I don't know.
You know, if you're supposed to be the GOAT, you gotta stay on top. You know, look at LeBron for instance. He's old, but and he's getting up there in age, but he's still dominating against people. You know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Tom Brady, he is. I hate to say this, he is the GOAT, though, man. I mean, you can't. It's hard to deny it. I hate his guts, but he's the GOAT. But you know, Titans. They got a good defense, man. They got Jarrell Casey, like we said, and they're secondary though. That's what kicks ass because, like you said, Kevin Byard and I said Adoree Jackson. I forgot they also have Logan Ryan, cornerback, who used to play on the Patriots, and then they got Kenny Vaccaro, their other safety. So you know, I don't know. They got a great secondary. I can't believe they beat the Ravens. I thought for sure Ravens were going all the way, man.
That's what everybody thought.
That's what everybody thought. That's true. What do you think for next year? I gotta say, call me biased, bro, but the Seahawks, man. If we pick up some piece, I mean, I guess it's hard to say because we gotta wait for free agency, we gotta wait for the draft and all that shit. But I think it's gonna be I think the Seahawks could do it. But if I'm gonna be less biased, man, the Ravens, man. So there you go, Seahawks, Ravens. That's who I got next year. Who you got?
I don't know.
We'll play this back a year from now.
Honestly, I feel like, even though I hate them, because I know so many fans of them, but the Saints actually have a good team lined up for next year, and I just feel like if they can just get the right calls from the refs, because you know they have all those scandals on them for the past 2 years, I think they could really do something in NFC. And as for the AFC, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna come down to the Chiefs and the Ravens.
Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna be this year, and that's probably what's gonna be next year. I think the Chiefs are lined up to probably be great for another 3-4 years at least. Same with the Ravens. On the NFC, you mentioned the Saints. I think so. You're right, man. They got screwed, especially last year. They were screwed. It should have been them in the Super Bowl playing the Patriots, and then they would have kicked the Patriots' ass. Everybody knows what happened. They got screwed that last game against the Rams, and then the Rams went in and sucked in the Super Bowl. Didn't do shit, which I was so happy to see, but at the same time, it was the Patriots. So that was the worst game I've ever watched, not only because of the score. We watched that game together. You remember that?
No, it was ass.
Yeah, but it was such a low-scoring game. It sucked. It was probably the two teams I hated most playing against each other, so I didn't care who fucking won. But shit, we still had a good time, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
We like Twin Peaks. That's our
Hell
spot.
Yeah.
That's
our
our
spot.
Yes, it is. But what was I saying before that? Oh, the Saints. Yeah, I thought they might have. I thought they were going to make some noise this year too. I thought it was going to be Saints Ravens, but they kind of fell apart here. I don't remember that playoff game. Who did they lose to? I don't even remember.
Vikings.
Oh shit, that's right. The Vikings always have their number. I like the Vikings too, but they're talking about Drew Brees, just like Tom Brady might retire. Have you heard about that?
I have not heard about this, and I feel like if you got
He's an
Drew
old
Brees,
man.
if you got Drew Brees still slinging that thing, so I'm just thinking he still got it at least for like another year or two. You know?
I'll tell you what, he's playing a hell of a lot better than Tom Brady is.
He's not in a position like Phillip Rivers or Big Ben where like injuries and just bad play is just coming into the into factor of them retiring. So
Phillip Rivers, he's done. He's retiring, man. He sucks now. So yeah, we already covered Tom Brady. You know his wife, don't you?
Yes, everybody
His
knows.
wife Giselle.
Everybody knows Giselle.
Supermodel. This is our shitty attempt to segue into the topic of women.
Oh boy.
Again, like I said, this is an explicit podcast, so you know you might
Hide the kids.
Yeah, hide your kids, husband.
Hide your wives too.
Yeah. Yeah, especially hide your wives when Shig's around, man. He's
Nah,
a player.
that's not me. That's our friend Dev.
Yeah, our friend Dev. He's the guy that introduced me to Shig. He's our mutual friend. He's one of my best friends for sure. Could you say the same?
Nah, not one of my best friends. Not yet.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of fucked up. Anyways, talk about different types of women that you've smashed. And I'm talking, how many colors of the rainbow have you tasted?
How about you say
You
your
want me to
shit
start?
first? You
want me to
first.
start? All right. I have tasted vanilla.
Okay.
And then Latina, and then a little sprinkle of Asian in there.
All right. I mean, if you gotta come to me, then definitely got some vanilla in there. Can't forget about the chocolate.
You're a chocolate man.
I am a chocolate man.
And I'm a vanilla man.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows that hopefully racism one day will die. Cause look at us, best buds.
Who would have
White and
thought?
black together.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you dabbled in vanilla and chocolate then.
Yep, and then a little sprinkle of that horchata. So I mean, not a little bit, but not a lot, but a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you like them thick or you like them thin, man?
I like them thick.
Yeah, of course you do. What do you like? Are you an ass man or are you titty man?
Definitely ass man. I
ass man?
gotta have something to smack onto. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you.
Ooh.
I feel you. I gotta differ with you on this one though, and I know we've talked about this in the past, but I'm definitely a titty guy. I love titties. You could do a lot with them. You could play with them. You could, don't get me wrong. Of course, I love ass too. But if I had to pick big titties or big ass, I'd pick big titties.
You don't know how to hit it from the back, y'all.
Oh, don't you worry about me, man. I'm a vet. No,
I don't know. All I gotta say is nothing more I love than just smacking some ass. She's gonna get a handful of that ass.
You don't need a big
reason for the phrase "more cushion for the pushing," my friend.
Well, yeah.
Come on now.
I guess so.
Come on now.
You got me there. Still, I'm taking titties every time, man. Every time. If we could have both, that's ideal, of course.
That's that white side coming out of him.
You want to get into that? You want to get into ass shit?
What?
Ass shit.
Ass shit? What do you mean ass shit?
Ass shit. Do you like ass play?
Wait, what you mean ass play? What you try to get at here, Matt? What you talking about?
Do you want to talk about it?
Talk about what?
Do you have experience with ass? Not cheeks, hole.
Oh,
you want to talk about it?
What? No, why are we going to that topic?
All right, we don't got to talk about it. You like a doggy, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think we got that covered already.
Love that shit.
We love you guys. Thank you for listening to the podcast. This is it for this episode of the Matt and Shiggy Show.
Tune in for more.
We don't know how long until the next episode. Again, we're in college. We don't know what the hell we're doing. Until next time.